Austrian time it was called Herrengasse. Herr in German means a lord, and so this would be the Lord's Lane. As you see, it's one of the most beautiful streets in the city and the main shopping street. It always was the main shopping street, and is it still today. Two national houses are here. On the left, the orange one is the Polish National House, and over there is the German National House, built in a style which is completely different to everything else you can see in the city. We would call it historism, meaning that you pick up elements from the architecture of past and put it together in a new way. There's still a little German community here, very few people. The backside of the German house is used by the Jewish community. There's a Jewish help organization, the Chesed Shoshana. The entrance is from over there. You can have a look inside. There's also a little Holocaust memorial at the entrance, and this is especially for elder people. So, by example, people who have not enough money to buy enough food for themselves, or who need medical treatment or need care at home. You could even go there as an elder person without money to get a new haircut. So that's the sort of welfare they are doing there. Well, what to say more at that point? I think we're now walking since. Very few. The Germans, nearly all of them went in 1940. That was part of the contract between Hitler and Stalin, that the territories that were taken over by the Soviets, the Germans would leave these territories towards Germany. So it happened in Bessarabia, so it happened in the Baltic states, and it happened here too. The only thing was that they trapped them and did not send them to Germany. They sent the German population to the by Germany occupied Poland to Germanize these areas. So, meaning after the war they had to move again, and many of them emigrated to America and Canada.
After Soviet Union.
After the end of the war, yeah.
And is there an association of the German people in
yes,
front of it?
in the German house, you will find an association. Sometimes, 2 times I tried to contact them. They had a sign in the window that on a certain evening from 6 o'clock on they would be there, but nobody was there. So it must be a very small.
But it's such
group.
a big house.
It's a very big house because it was a big ethnic group before, of course.
It must cost a lot to keep up that.
And maybe I can mention one event that partially took place in the German house. That was the Yiddish language conference that took place in Czernowitz in 1908. Because not every event in this conference could take place in the Jewish house. A part of the conference took place here, and the point of the conference was to define Yiddish as a language for literature. And the question behind was, what is the language of the Jewish nation? Is it Hebrew or is it Yiddish? Yiddish was spoken by nearly everyone in Eastern Europe, while Hebrew was spoken only for religious purposes, or the modern version of Hebrew, Ivrit, was spoken by them who prepared themselves for the immigration to Palestine. So this was a long discussion between especially the let's say the Jewish socialists who preferred Yiddish as the language of the simple people, and the Zionists who preferred Hebrew as a language for a new Jewish state in Palestine. They found at the end the solution saying Hebrew is the language of the Jewish nation by historical reasons, and Yiddish is one language of the Jewish nation. So this was the Yiddish language conference in 1908 that partially took place in the German house. Imagine that it took only 25 years to ruin this quite good relation.